Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of servicing the Dexta. If you haven't watched the first video, in the first video we changed the oil and changed the oil filter. So I'll put a link in the description or it'll be at the end of the video. Hop back and watch that one, then come to this one. If you have watched the first one, you know what we're going to be doing. Today, we're going to be changing the fuel filter. Now, I've got the filter here. As I said in the last episode, this video is sponsored by Anglo Agriparts. They're a UK-based tractor parts company which sell parts for all vintage tractors. Massey Ferguson, Perkins Engines, Ferguson, Ford, Fordson, Case IH, David Brown, Fiat and John Deere. So if you have an old tractor, you need a part, go check out Anglo Agriparts. I'll put a link to their website down in the description below, so just go click it, along with everything I have used in this video. So if you've got a Dexta and it needs servicing, and you've seen what I've used, look in the description, I'll put a link to everything I've used in this video. So let's crack on. So the first job, when you're changing the fuel filter, as you can see, the battery's still connected. So I'm gonna take the battery off. You saw it in the last one, I won't bore you. I'll just do it and then we can crack on. So now the battery's been disconnected, we can go ahead and change the fuel filter. Now this bowl is pretty much the same as the oil filter bowl. You just undo this bolt at the top and it should drop off. But before we do that, I'm going to obviously isolate the fuel because I don't want all the fuel to pee out onto the floor. But just in case it does, I do have a clean bucket to catch it all. So we'll follow the pipe, comes back down to this primer, and you follow it back up all the way. And there is a tap. And if you can see this tap, so I'll just turn this tap off. And then, there we go, that's off. And now, it's isolated, so when I take this off, not that it would anyway, because it'd have to go uphill, but when I take this off, it shouldn't pee out. Obviously there's going to be a little bit, because this bowl will be full of diesel, but it's not going to drain the whole fuel tank if you get what I mean. So we'll take this off now. So this is the fuel filter. I unboxed it in the previous video, but in case you haven't watched that video, I'll unbox it again. So here we have the fuel filter. It's quality, it feels, it's got a bit of weight to it. I know you can get them Chinese ones and they feel really light because they're thin and just tosh. So this is what you get in the box. You obviously get your filter and then you get your O-ring to seal it at the top. So yeah, really good filter. I'm happy to put this in my tractor, as I've said in previous videos. So we'll get it fitted. Okay then, so now we're going to take off the filter housing. It's this bolt right at the top. I'm just going to undo it like so. I don't know when the last time this fuel filter was changed. Just give it a tap. There we go. And there's the filter. Pull it out for you. So there's the filter, and look at the filter housing. That's bad. That is really bad. So I'll clean that up and I'll get back to you. Alright, so now obviously we've got the filter out, and as you can see in here, there is a lot of gunk, so I need to get all the gunk out. So start off, loosen it up with a screwdriver, and then I'll finish up by wiping it with a rag. So I'll just do this. So now I'll wipe it. Now I'll wipe it with a rag. Again, just trying to get all that crap out. Might take you a couple of tries to get it clean, but as long as you get it clean, it's fine. So it takes as long as it takes until you can get it. There we go. Now, I had a couple of people on my last video saying, did you do this, did you do that? Just because I've not filmed it, or just because you don't see it in the video, doesn't mean I haven't done it, because I do quite a lot of stuff off camera to make the videos look easier. So stuff like freeing bolts off and cleaning stuff out and checking this and checking that. I do quite a lot of that off camera to make it, just to make the video flow better. So just because you haven't seen me do it in the video doesn't mean I haven't done it. So there we go, that's looking a lot cleaner. Okay, so now the fuel filter housing is all cleaned out, we're going to want to remove this O-ring. Now, it did look easy for me, but that's because I've spent about 10 minutes off camera trying to prise it out, but it's out, so now we can fit the new one. Okay, so now it's time to fit the new seal. This is the new seal. I started fitting it off camera because I got a bit carried away. But yeah, just follow it round and make sure you do not get any kinks in it. Otherwise, you're gonna get a leak. Alright, so hopefully now you can see that there's a fresh rubber gasket on there. So the next step is going to be to put the new fuel filter in. So I'll just get the new fuel filter out. I'm just doing this one-handed, so bear with me. This is the new filter. The one that I took out had the writing at the top, so I'm going to put this one at the top. If you look in here, you can see that rubber pad and the washer. That will, there's a spring below that. I don't know if you can see it, but that will sit up against the bottom of the filter, pretty much just like that. So that's now ready to put back on the tractor. Okay, so now I will put the filter back on. It's just the reverse of how you took it off, but you got to make sure you get this in the groove with the rubber washer. It's not really washer, it's an O-ring. That's what I mean to say. So just nip down that top bolt, and once that's finger tight, I'm going to have another look. And I'm happy that that's in the correct place and we're not going to pinch the washer or the ring and then tighten it up. That should be good. Now this square here is what you use to bleed it. So I'm just going to crack this open. Whoa. Let me get my adjustable. So I'll just crack this open and then we'll turn the fuel tap back on. There we go. Just cracked it. So now we can turn the fuel back on at the tap, and obviously because there's no airlock there now, should fill the filter up. I'll leave it for about 10 minutes and then I'll get back to you. So reverse of what we did before, I just turn this tap back on. If you can see, just a tap here, and now that will be filling up the fuel filter. So I just turn this on and then I'll leave it for 10 minutes and then I'll get back to you. The Dexta does also have a primer, which is this here. So if we give that couple of pumps until we see diesel come out that bleeder. As you can see, if I zoom in on it, you can see a couple of bubbles. Okay, so I've spent the last 10-15 minutes priming the fuel filter, and now when you look, when I pump it, I can show you, you can see that it's frothing. I don't know if you can see that very well. You can see that fuel's coming out there. So I'll tighten that back up, give it a few more pumps just to pressurise the system, and then we'll see if we can start it. So I'll jump straight to me starting it. Okay, so there we go, that's the fuel filter on, primed, and had a quick wipe round just to get rid of all the drips of diesel. So I'll climb on now and we'll see if she starts. Now this tractor doesn't start very well on cold days, so we do have to use easy start. So before everyone starts crying because I've used some easy start, it's fine, it's a farm tractor. But I'll just turn her over a couple of times. I think I'll put the camera like this. So I'll just turn it over a couple of times and see if it starts. Just before anyone says about all the smoke when it first started, it's because it's a diesel, it is smoky when it starts, but as you've seen in a clip in a minute, it stops smoking. So I'll show you that it stopped smoking, and it actually sounds, ooh, it sounds sweet as a nut, you're gonna like it. It's also because this exhaust is a Ron exhaust for this tractor, so if anyone wants to send me a new exhaust, feel free. So there we go everyone, that's the Dexta completely serviced. We've changed the oil filter, I've topped the water up off camera, new fuel filter, and it's all been cleaned out, it's all been checked, all been serviced, been pressure washed, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time we have ever done this tractor. I know it's bad, we've had this tractor about, how long? 12 years? And I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've ever properly gone through it and done everything. So a huge thank you to Anglo Agriparts. All of the stuff I've used will be in the description below. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos. Really appreciate it. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers. See you in the next one.